This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map Tournament Odyssey. In the bottom left-hand corner as the green Steel Talons, this is Drive. In the top right-hand corner as the pink, wow, expansion first, R17, this is MasterLeaf. This is 1.03, but this is not ordinary 1.03. This is old 1.03 from my perspective. This is test 108. And just to orient you, the current version is test 110. So, things that you see here may not be how they are currently, but this is still a relatively recent game, and it's maybe a couple of weeks old, but the versions can advance very quickly with 1.03. I did a stream the other day that was 1.09. There was 1.03, but test 109 replays. So technically there's a stream that I've already done that has newer version replays than this. However, still can be some good games. 1.03 has been fun to watch, all of the changes coming in. Glad to see that people are embracing the idea that there can be changes. And some of the changes are definitely good. Some of the changes seem a little strange, but, you know, they tend to get worked out, or at least they have been getting worked out thus far. And we'll have to see. Hopefully it finds a good place of stability in the near future, and then we have just a really great version of Kane's Wrath that ultimately the community has kind of formed. One of those things where it would have been nice if, of course, there was lots of money in EA's wallet to spend on further Kane's Wrath development. But hey, 12 years after the fact, it turns out the community can solve some of these problems that a billion-dollar corporation didn't want to solve with the thing that it had made. At any rate, MasterLeaf and Drive both going for the expansions. Where the heck did that outpost from MasterLeaf go? I wasn't paying attention to it. I saw it in the beginning, and then I immediately forgot about it, and now I don't see it really anywhere on the map. Oh, it's right here. I was almost on top of it, as on the mini-map, the little dot is difficult to see. A proton cannon, a photon cannon, rather, is pretty powerful. The base defenses have had a number of changes to them, and then Descent's going to be on top of that. But, of course, these are super-duper Steel Talons heavy harvesters, and actually going to be dropping his stasis chamber right here, so he's going to be, I assume, stasising a bunch of stuff. I assume he's going to be... No, maybe not. Okay. The stasis chamber is just for looks, apparently. I think he's waiting for maybe the army to respond or something. Descent's going to be coming in here. They're going to be targeting down one of these power plants, and the proton cannons as well. Going to be trying to get some shots off there. It's not enough to send Drive into a low power mode. This refinery still under threat, as now 4 photon cannons are here on the front lines. MasterLeaf, no, it's not going to be taking any damage. It's just going to be a rifleman running through a couple of Tiberium spots there, and it looks like now the Titan may be getting locked down. No, there's nothing happening with this stasis. Maybe something else was locked down somewhere else on the map, but for now, these watchtowers and these Titans will eventually overwhelm the base defenses of MasterLeaf, but killing that refinery was probably the real goal that he wanted. Rifleman taking a couple of shots at that harvester there, trying to work away at the shields and then do a bit of damage to the harvesters. And this attack has been stopped. Second portal going down. Oh my gosh, I can't believe MasterLeaf is still putting this attack on, that he's still trying to make something happen with this attack. Maybe the Descent can jump around to the north side and dive on the refinery or something, but, well, everything has been shut down. Everything has been shot up pretty much here, and Drive is going to be able to push this attack away. He sees the Descents. If he lets these Descents escape, that could be very problematic for him. But other than that, oh, he's actually dropping 2 foxholes. And yeah, one or both of these, both of these harvesters actually have rifleman squads inside of them. So this attack will be shut down. 1 buzzer does go down. 3 watchtowers being established here kind of on the right side of this expansion. The MCV is still happy and healthy. A couple of riflemen could jump into these extra harvesters just to give them a little bit of damage output. Both players setting up their natural expansions quite nicely. Another outpost, or explorer rather, for MasterLeaf. It looks like he may be going for a quick third expansion, and at the same time he's keeping the pressure on Drive. Although you could probably hide some stuff down here. If you took an explorer and dropped it over here, you could hide production facilities there and then do kind of the same thing, but a little bit delayed when they try and take their third. You know, put pressure on over here, some big attack, and then at the same time you sneak in a bunch of descents way over there on the right edge of the map. Seeker tanks are here. The Hammerhead steps forward and then pulls back as he doesn't want to overextend. Still 3 watchtowers here on the front line. A couple of Titans also here on the front line. As we get our way up towards Tier 3, keep in mind, railguns are cheaper. I believe they still take a minute and a half to research, but they're only $3,000. There's the expansion. It gets shut down. MCV is going to have to move over there if MasterLeaf wants to take this expansion. A couple of descents are going to be able to overwhelm this Titan. It's not even going to go for any crushes. It's just going to die as it was kind of auto-attacking those harvesters. A lovely move there by Drive to go ahead and shut down that expansion point, that explorer from MasterLeaf. He got a very nice kill there, just a annoying delay. MasterLeaf didn't want to move his MCV. He wanted to keep his MCV there. He could have had the refinery all queued up, all ready to go when the explorer finished constructing. He could have dropped that refinery immediately. Shard Launcher Storm Riders here on the map. Of course, Storm Riders going through a bunch of changes, health changes or armor changes, one of the two, making them tankier, but then also giving them shards, and I believe they also get, yeah, they do get blue shard upgrade. So when you purchase that, which, yes, this is still a Tier 3 upgrade. When you purchase that, you get everything upgrading with those blue shards, or at least, whoa, this Mammoth Tank taking a lot of damage from these Seekers. This is a lot of Shard Seekers that are now going to be able to turn their attention to this MCV, putting out a huge amount of damage onto this MCV. And goodbye, Drive's MCV. This was his main MCV, it looks like, so he can rebuild, but his third expansion is going to be extremely late. It's actually going to be force fields coming right out of the gate. So I guess the blue shard, I think, upgrade is a little bit delayed in comparison. Let's see. I can't click on a Storm Rider. Yeah, so he hasn't gotten the blue shard upgrade just yet. I don't think it affects the Seeker tanks with their shard upgrade. But, Riflemen, Wolverines, AP ammo, railguns all being purchased, adaptive armor as well. Although in this version, Firehawk's actually making a bit of a bombing run, going to be able to clean up the Tier 3, so no more tripods out on the field, no more upgrades. I don't know that he actually, I don't think he got the blue shard upgrade. No, he went for Reaper, or tripod, and then regular force fields. So we got both of the force field upgrades, but Ravagers, one of those units that exist but are pretty much never used in even 1.02 plus. 1.03, one of the units that has received a little bit of attention. Drive splitting off some of his forces to deal with this small army over here on the right side of the map. Oop. Storm Rider going down. Shard Rider? I don't know. Firehawk's able to deal with the aircraft pretty darn easily. Tripod stepping forward. First refinery's up and running for MasterLeaf over here on his third base. Drive's third base extremely delayed. I assume the MCV is... Did he not rebuild his MCV? What are you doing, Drive? I don't know. Oh, okay, so his MCV is just now emerging from the War Factory. He did indeed rebuild it. Did the Tier 3 go down again? Could have been a rebuild of the Tier 3. Firehawk's going in for a bit of a bombing run, it looks like. Returning home for something. And cleaning up a bit of infrastructure, I guess. A couple of shard launchers would be nice. Yeah, plasma missile battery. Now here for the third base of MasterLeaf. Shard walkers and Seeker tanks going to be stepping on forward. They're trying to deal with this potential expansion from Drive, but Drive for now doing a good job of holding off MasterLeaf's forces. MasterLeaf over here on the left side of the map with a big army, going to be getting pushed back at least for now, deciding not to commit to the attack. Wow, this is not something you see very often. Zone troopers, of course, from Steel Talons, you couldn't see this, but zone troopers and a couple of missile squads. It is a powerful attacking force. Could be vulnerable to the Shard Riders, but there aren't a lot of them around the map. Going to be dropping a plasma missile battery, which will absorb a lot of damage, but ultimately it will go down. A couple of Ravagers over here on the north side of the map doing, I guess, nothing. And this MCV is actually going to be under threat. Where are the forces to defend this one Mammoth tank, which the Mammoth tank may be able to overwhelm these forces eventually. I'm not sure how much damage they'll actually be able to get done there. It looks like at the current moment, not a whole lot. A couple of Mammoth tanks going to be returning to base. They're going to be coming back here to defend this expansion. Drive will secure his third base and be able to power up his late-game economy. Needs to get a second refinery up and running relatively soon. MasterLeaf is ahead in the economy game over here. The classic, the patented MasterLeaf weirdly placed refineries, as his MCV is maybe a little bit further back than he would have preferred to get optimal placement of these harvesters, or of those refineries. One Mammoth tank gets overwhelmed and destroyed there by MasterLeaf's forces. Still no blue shard upgrade from MasterLeaf, and that's probably fine considering he's not going super heavy into Shard Walkers, although he's also not going super heavy into Storm Riders, so could be a potential for a switch up if he drops another one or two gravity stabilizers, gets himself 8 or 12 Storm Riders, and then also gets the blue shard upgrade. Could be a ton of damage output and a very mobile army option for MasterLeaf. Drive, on the other hand, he swings his forces to the right, he swings his forces to the left, he's playing the defensive game, and he hasn't claimed this turret. It might actually be worth grabbing that turret, building the barracks, building the engineer, grabbing the turret just for that extra bit of defense. MasterLeaf with a pretty much equal split of his forces, a couple of tripods over there, bunch of descents and shock troopers over here. He's going to try and push in. Drive has also split his forces, although this is a smaller contingency of his army, is going to be potentially getting overwhelmed there. On the right side, the defense is going to be strong, and Drive is Tier 3, potentially exposed. Is MasterLeaf going to be able to make any headway? The answer so far is no. He has bought himself a lot of space and a lot of time to get this field harvested and to try and turn that money into something. I'm not sure what his plan is here to end the game. Both of these guys may have a sort of difficult process ending the game from this point forward. We'll have to see when their armies clash who actually is able to come out ahead. Airfield down, Tier 3 down, but now the army is going to retreat. 3 watchtowers on the defense, but also Titans and Mammoth tanks are here from Drive to push back this army of MasterLeaf. MasterLeaf rejoining his forces potentially here in the middle of the map, and he's going to try and drive into Drive's base. Is he going to try and spearhead into Drive's base? The answer so far is no. Drive once again pulling his forces over here to the right side. Mammoth tanks, zone troopers, rocket troopers, even a couple of Wolverines mixed in here. They were present earlier in the game and then they kind of disappeared, and now they are back. MasterLeaf not going for an Eradicator Hexapod. Of course, the epic units have definitely been downplayed in 1.03. I assume there's still a reason to get them, and this may be the sort of situation where it makes sense to get an Eradicator Hexapod or some kind of an epic unit, as the Orca Strike comes in at the same time as the Firehawks bomb the Warp Sphere there, going to be eliminating the War Factory on the original main base of MasterLeaf. Goodbye, one Firehawk. No, the Firehawks actually do survive. There's the blink forward of a shock trooper, but it doesn't actually manage to get any damage done or get any kills. A couple of infantry units going to be taking a little bit of damage, and a second MCV on the move for Drive. No, that's his first MCV, which is actually his second MCV, or I should say his primary MCV, which is indeed his second MCV. Rifleman and rocket trooper is going to be taking a little bit of damage from that Tiberium, which is what that battle marker was on the minimap, if you did see it. Couple of watchtowers being sold off. Once again, big army swings to the right and to the left of the map as these two players posture and try and figure out how in the world they end this game without just slashing their armies to bits. And they may just try the brute force brunt attack Once again, a bombing run coming in, clearing up some technology or some infrastructure of some kind, going potentially just for some power plants to make sure that there cannot be effective base defenses coming down from these players. Power plants once again going to be going down. Drive striking down the power plants is a great thing to do. If you can kill the power plants of your opponent, wow, that's a lot of Wolverines. If you can kill the power plants of your opponent before a big battle, that may be enough to swing the favor to your side and win the fight. Orca Strike coming in, not really doing a whole lot. Big defensive moves for MasterLeaf. A ton of shock troopers, but also a couple of shard walkers, a couple of seeker tanks mixed in as well. But also we do have the signal transmitter. Orcas, or not Orcas, but Firehawks going to be trying to sneak in the back of the base. They don't quite manage to, I think, kill anything. I don't think they managed to eliminate anything. Harvesters slowly harvesting away at this field, but Drive is going to try and make something happen here in the middle of the map. Pushing forward, pushing to the north. He's pushing the army of MasterLeaf to the edges. MasterLeaf may try and collapse in on this army from two different angles. This army from Drive is absolutely huge as the Overlord's Wrath gets dropped on Drive, and all of these forces take some pretty heavy damage. MasterLeaf now going to be collapsing in on Drive's army. Adaptive armor going to be giving him some extra survivability on these Titans over here on the left side. They're going to be able to absorb more damage, but the shock troopers may just be purely overwhelming numbers as Drive cuts off part of his army. He heads over to the left side of the map. He's being destroyed here on the right side of the map. There's the blink forward for some of these shock troopers to go for extra damage on these mammoth tanks and eliminate this entire army. But here in the middle of the map, with still some kind of army surviving this attack, Drive, I think that was a mistake, splitting his army up like that. It means that MasterLeaf was able to divide and conquer, although I don't think MasterLeaf should necessarily meet this army in the middle of the map. He needs to attack, or he needs to defend. He needs to use base defenses and his defender's advantage, I think, to hold off this army. I think if Drive would have attacked all in one, it would have turned out a bit differently. But now that he's got this army of MasterLeaf kind of separated out, he may actually be able to deal with these shock troopers with his overwhelming number of Wolverines. If MasterLeaf gets caught out in the middle of the map, I don't know if he can take this army head on. We'll have to see. Reaper does lock down a big chunk of this army. A bunch of the Wolverines caught in that stasis. And here on the front line, a couple of riflemen also mixed in with this army. But MasterLeaf is being evaporated. The shock troopers going down. They're good versus some stuff, but the Wolverines clean them up. And now the army of Drive turns its attention to the new main base of MasterLeaf over at his third base location. There's the scan. He reveals still a pretty strong army, but this is the defender's advantage that I think MasterLeaf is going to need to stand against this army. Would be nice to see some behemoths, something long range. Of course, he did have the Hammerhead, or the Firehawks rather, earlier in this game. A couple of them have been eliminated. They have slowly been picked away at. And turning a couple of forces around to kill this Tripod Husk is, I think, a good idea for Drive. Either needs to claim it for himself. Orca Strike coming in on the drone ship. He either needs to claim it for himself or clean it up. Either one is a good choice. The Orcas coming in. Drive is going to have a hard time breaking this base without adequate ranged forces. MasterLeaf has played this out pretty well, but this Husk is still around. I guess that's not what those forces were actually there for. Wolverine doing a good bit of damage to these Harvesters. Won't actually get the kill on any of them. Once again, posturing with Defender's advantage. I think this will be an easy hold. Well, no, this is a lot of tripods. This is 7-8 tripods potentially from MasterLeaf. He still doesn't want to attack directly into this army. This is a lot of firepower from Drive. There's a lot of railguns. MasterLeaf's army has been sort of piecemealed apart in the same way that he was able to split up Drive's army, or, well, Drive split up his own army, and then MasterLeaf was able to crush one section of the army. But then the same exact thing happened to MasterLeaf. His army got split up, and Drive was able to crush one section of his army. Reaper tripods with their tanks loaded with Tiberium Always nice to do that bonus damage. A couple of tripods moving in here for MasterLeaf. Going to be able to get the kills on these harvesters, and they need to stick around to actually kill all of these harvesters. They need to make sure that none of this Tiberium escapes. Cut off the economy of Drive as much as possible. Kill this second Tib Spike as well. Drive has already reclaimed both of these Tib Spikes, or actually no. He claimed these Tib Spikes over here on the right side of the map, so Drive has actually been sitting at that 40 credits a second for a long time now. That is a ton of money that Drive has basically gotten for free. 2 Reaper tripods, they can be powerful at killing harvesters, but this is way too much steel talons to contend with these 2 tripods. Even switching over to adaptive armor mode to make sure that there's no rush for EMP or anything like that. As MasterLeaf, if he stuck around and tried to fight that out, would just be losing those tripods. He decides to cut and run. He decides to try and get on out of there. Shock Trooper's going to be stepping forward. They're going to be eaten up by these Wolverines, given away for free. A couple of those Shock Troopers turn around and go for the engagement just to kill themselves. A mistake there, a misclick by MasterLeaf. Trying to engage in that way was an absolute mistake. MasterLeaf doesn't know necessarily about this MCV down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. A sneaky, sneaky insurance policy for Drive. He can potentially take this original main base back. There's a good amount of Tiberium here. It would definitely be worth it, especially with the regrow, to set up 1, maybe 2 refineries there and get a couple of harvesters working away at that field. MasterLeaf on the same token could reclaim his own original main base, move his MCV over there if he's able to deal with this army. Of course, right now, Drive swarming over this location is going to make it impossible for MasterLeaf to do anything. Drive claiming one of these Reaper tripods going to make his defensive forces here on the left side of the map even more difficult to break. Although now this is 5 tripods. This is a base-killing force. MasterLeaf, I feel like some of these engagements he could actually take for sure, but maybe he doesn't have the scouting information. He doesn't have the intel to know what kind of advantage he has over this little group of units, over the fact that the MCV is hiding down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. If he would have attacked right then, right there, he could have attacked, cut everything down, killed it all, and potentially pulled out before this army walked its slow self over to the left side of the map. I still am not sure that MasterLeaf can survive a fight out in the open against all of this Steel Talon's power. But maybe he can. I don't know. The adaptive armor, it's good. Negates the EMP abilities. This MCV moving even further into the corner of the map. Ravager is going to be kind of guarding these harvesters. MasterLeaf trying to get a little bit of extra Tiberium from his opponent's field. These Reaper tripods stepping forward. They're going to get punished for it. They're going to lose their shields, most likely. They're taking a couple of shots at the forces of Drive, of course, firing as retreating. Drive, can he break MasterLeaf when MasterLeaf has a defender's advantage? I think a couple of base defenses on the front line, be it photon cannons or storm columns or whatever. Oh, that was a mistake. That harvester shouldn't have gone down. MasterLeaf is going to be using his buildings to body block for his forces. He's pulling back completely. Is he giving up this base? What is his plan here? I don't actually know what his plan is. Ravagers will be seeing that MCV, will be seeing that barracks there in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and he's going to be wormholing to the other side of the map, but Drive just sells everything off. He's going to lose everything here, and MasterLeaf can wormhole back across the map. He phases the drone ship so it can escape, but MasterLeaf, I feel like, is going to be losing way more than Drive, although no, Drive is also going to be losing everything, so it's going to be a base race scenario. MasterLeaf not wanting to fight the army of Drive, even with Defender's advantage. He is going to be losing his Tier 3 here, and he's just going to have to cut and run with his MCV. His MCV is the only thing. No, he's got an outpost in the top left-hand corner of the map. And oh, that is exactly what Drive is trying to do with the Surveyor on the left edge of the map. These armies are both impressive, but they have not clashed. And again, Drive, I think Drive has the superior army, but MasterLeaf may be able to pull something out here. His MCV way up in the corner of the map. Drive with basically no base, no infrastructure. MasterLeaf is going to see this stuff in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and he's going to try and dive on it, but this outpost is the only thing that Drive has left. The MCV is almost certainly going to go down, but the entire army of MasterLeaf is also going to go down. If he doesn't have any forces spread out around the map, I don't know that he can actually survive this engagement. There goes the MCV. It gets targeted down and the lasers blast it apart. The power plant goes down as well, but now MasterLeaf is going to be scratching his head wondering where the heck am I supposed to go? Drive drops a beacon just so everyone knows where his last building is, and yeah, this army gets annihilated. Gets absolutely destroyed. Can MasterLeaf sneak away with any attacking units at all? One tripod and a couple of shard walkers may be able to survive. They are low on health. They are weak. While the shard walkers are okay. But this is actually just more husks on the ground if there are any engineers still out on the map. Oh, MasterLeaf may actually see this. No, I don't think he does. He would be diving on it if he at all could. Harvesters are looking for the last buildings, but of course MasterLeaf has an MCV, so even if he loses the outpost, Drive is desperately looking for the last couple of structures, the last buildings. He's got a Firehawk as well, and he spots in the top left-hand corner of the map with his one heavy harvester with a rifleman squad inside of it. He's going to slowly work away at that outpost. Drive cutting down the forces of MasterLeaf. He needs to send just like one Titan up to the top left-hand corner of the map to make sure that he gets a quick kill on this outpost. The rank up of that rifleman actually doing significantly more damage. And the repairs no longer happening. The Firehawks have spotted this drone ship in the top right-hand corner of the map. The MCV will go down. MasterLeaf, he takes big damage on that drone ship. He can still repair it, it looks like a little bit. I don't know how much cash he actually has. He puts the top back on. And they're going to take a little flyover and then pull back. One more tripod going down, more tripods going down. And MasterLeaf, if he knew all he had to do was kill this. Oh, the Harvester, did the Harvester see it? MasterLeaf sees it, barely on the edge of vision. No, he may have just missed it. Just barely by anything at all, he may have just missed it. Oh man, this game, MasterLeaf has basically no chance of winning. But if Drive doesn't know that, then Drive may mistakenly think that MasterLeaf has more than he does. Drive only has a couple of things that shoot up. The Mammoth Tank, these couple of rocket squads, and then everything else just shoots down. MasterLeaf is going to try and run away with his MCV. It's at half health. It's going to take a lot of damage if the forces ever catch up with it, but this one tripod comes down the right side of the map, trying to sneak away, trying to find an angle, find an opportunity. There's the battle marker. No, it's actually going to be the Firehawk that goes down. It's not actually a battle marker of MasterLeaf finding that outpost and realizing that that is it. MasterLeaf knows that there isn't a lot left. He knows that Drive is pretty much out of this game, but he doesn't know where the last stuff is. And MasterLeaf is about to lose his MCV. That's it! Drive takes the game, and MasterLeaf, GG's, I guess, at the last second there. Drive pulling it out at the last possible second there. Oh, man, both of these guys flatlining there at the end of the game. What a bizarre base trade for this game to turn into with not a lot of forces left. And MasterLeaf losing the game in the last couple of moments there. If he only knew, he maybe could have dived on that outpost and gotten the kill. Drive sticking it through to the end and providing us with a very entertaining 1v1 on 1.03. Thank you all very much for watching. Congratulations to Drive. That will do it for this video, for this game. This is Sybert, signing out.